Sometimes disrespect is not a reflection of your weakness, it's a revelation of their blindness. There will be seasons when you give your best, you serve with love, and yet people treat you like you don't matter. Don't let that poison your heart. Their rejection does not cancel your purpose. When people ignore your worth, heaven is preparing a place where you will no longer need their approval. Stay silent when others speak against you, because silence is not weakness, it's spiritual maturity. The greatest response to disrespect is not anger, but excellence. Keep working, keep praying, and keep shining. Sooner or later, God will let your light speak louder than their words. Every act of humility, every moment, why? God chose peace over pride, is building something eternal in you. Let them misunderstand you. The truth will always rise to the surface. The one who walks in love can never be brought down by hate. Do not let bitterness take root in your spirit. Bitterness blocks blessings. Forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because your destiny deserves freedom. Let go of the need to be right, and hold on to the peace that surpasses understanding. Remember, respect from others is temporary, but favor from God is eternal. When people dishonor you, keep your heart pure and your hands clean. The same voices that disrespected you will one day witness what God does through you. So don't fight back, rise higher. Because when you honor God in silence, He will honor you in public. When people choose not to respect you, the greatest mistake you can make is to fight for recognition. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone who cannot see your value. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strength, wrapped in peace. When you stay silent, you give God the room to speak for you. When you stop reacting, you start rising. The noise of disrespect fades away when you choose to remain calm, and in that calmness, you gain control over your spirit. The person who can hold their peace in the face of insult has already defeated the battle of pride within. People who disrespect you are not your enemies, they are your teachers. They reveal how deep your character truly runs. When you answer insult with silence, heaven takes notice. The one who remains still while others' rage has learned to rest in divine power. There is something majestic about quiet strength. It doesn't need an audience. It doesn't demand applause. It simply stands firm and lets time reveal the truth. Many people think silence means defeat, but silence is often the language of wisdom. When you stop defending yourself, you start depending on God's defense. Every time you refuse to argue, you are proving that your peace is more valuable than their opinion. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It's a declaration that you refuse to lower your character to match their noise. Let your silence become your sermon. Let your composure become your message. When you respond with gentleness, it disarms the spirit of conflict. It confuses those who expect you to react, and it positions you above the chaos. You can never win by shouting back, you win by rising above. Silence protects your energy. It keeps your heart clean from bitterness and your mind free from confusion. Every word spoken in anger steals a piece of your peace. That's why silence is sacred. It shields you from wasting strength on people who are not worth your emotional energy. When you are silent, you are not ignoring the problem, you are entrusting it to the one who sees all. The God who watches in secret will reward you in His time. Let your silence become an act of worship. Refuse to let the disrespect of others disturb the harmony inside your soul. It takes more courage to stay calm than to strike back. More power to stay silent than to shout. In silence, you grow stronger. In silence, your spirit matures. The storms that were meant to break you only refine you when you refuse to react. People may not understand your restraint, but you don't live for their understanding. You live for divine approval. One day, the same people who disrespected you will look back and wonder how you remained so calm, how you never lost your peace. That will be your testimony, that your silence was not weakness but wisdom, not surrender but strength. And in that quiet strength, you will find freedom, dignity, and the unshakable peace that only God can give. When you face people who misunderstand, disrespect, or mistreat you, the first instinct is to fight back, to explain, to prove your side. But when you truly trust God, you learn to step back and let Him fight for you. You understand that your battles are not always meant to be fought in words or actio. Some are meant to be surrendered in silence. There is great power in letting God be your defender, because His justice is perfect and His timing is precise. When you stop defending yourself, you make room for divine defense, and what He can do for you in one moment of favor is far greater than what you could achieve in years of arguing. The people who disrespect you may think they've won, but when you allow heaven to handle it, the story always turns in your favor. The moment you give the fight to God, peace enters your heart, because you no longer carry the burden of proving anything to anyone. You simply live in truth, and truth always outlasts lies. When people speak against you, don't rush to respond. Truth doesn't need shouting, it needs patience. When you are falsely accused, remember that even the purest hearts have been misunderstood. What matters is that your conscience remains clear. The one who walks in integrity will never fall to the opinions of others. Let your life, our consistency, and your humility become your answer. You are not responsible for how others see you. You are responsible for how you stand before God. Sometimes He allows you to face disrespect so that you can learn to depend more on His justice than on human approval. When you stop worrying about defending your image, you start growing into your purpose. The more you trust Him, the more peace surrounds you. The hands that try to pull you down will soon witness what divine elevation looks like. Let God be your defender. When you are ignored, when you are overlooked, when you are mocked, because He sees the tears you never show, He hears the prayers you whisper in silence, and He remembers every injustice you've endured without bitterness. His defense is not just about proving you right, it's about preparing your destiny. Sometimes He doesn't clear your name immediately because He's building your character first. He is more interested in your growth than your comfort, more focused on shaping your heart than silencing your critics. When the time is right, He will lift you in such a way that those who once disrespected you will have no choice but to see His glory in your life. You won't need to speak. Your blessings will speak for you. Keep your spirit gentle even when others are harsh. Don't waste your energy trying to convince those who never wanted to understand you. Let your kindness remain, even when kindness isn't returned. When you entrust your defense to God, you are saying, I trust that truth will rise, even if it takes time. And it always does. What was meant to harm you becomes the very platform that reveals your strength. The day will come when the same mouth that spoke against you will be silenced by what God does through you. And you will realize that you never needed to fight back, because His defense was always greater than your words. When people overlook you, when they take your efforts for granted, when they disrespect what you give, it can be painful, but do not let that change who you are. Keep serving with humility, because real strength is not in recognition, it is in consistency. The greatest test of character is not how you act when people praise you, but how you act when they ignore you. When you continue to give your best even when no one claps for you, you show heaven that your motive is pure. Service done for attention fades quickly, but service done in humility carries eternal value. The ones who serve silently are the ones God promotes loudly. Every humble act you do in secret is recorded by the one who sees everything, and at the right time, He will bring it to light. Do not let the lack of appreciation stop you from doing good. Keep planting seeds of kindness even if others never say thank you, because the soil of humility always produces divine harvest. Humility is not weakness, it is power under control. It is choosing to serve even when your ego says you deserve more. When you serve with humility, you are not serving people, you are serving purpose. You are working for a reward that no human can give and no one can take away. Keep doing the right thing even when it seems unnoticed. The world may not applaud your faithfulness, but heaven never misses it. Every time you choose to help without being asked, every time you forgive instead of retaliating, every time you remain kind in the face of pride, you are reflecting the heart of true greatness. The humble never lose because they never stop giving, and those who keep giving can never run empty. Their strength is renewed because their purpose is pure. There will be times when your service feels unseen, when your efforts feel wasted, but remember that nothing done in humility is ever lost. The seeds you plant today will grow in places you cannot see yet. Don't get discouraged if people overlook your contribution, because divine recognition always comes at the appointed time. The reward of humility is peace, favor, and promotion that can be denied. Keep serving faithfully even when others misunderstand your intentions. When you work with a pure heart, you attract blessings that noise cannot reach. Your humility becomes your protection, and your consistency becomes your testimony. The hands that serve with love will never remain empty, because God always fills what He can trust. Don't let pride enter your heart when you do good. Don't let disappointment make you bitter. Keep your motives clean and your spirit gentle. You are not doing it for them, you are doing it for Him. When people see your humility, they may not always appreciate it, but they can never deny its power. One day, the same people who ignored your service will witness how God honors your obedience. Stay humble, stay faithful, keep serving in silence, and let your life become a living example that true greatness is not about being seen, it's about being genuine. The humble rise slowly, but when they rise unshakably when people disrespect you, betray your trust, or treat you unfairly. The first emotion that tries to take over is bitterness. It starts small, as a quiet pain in your heart, but if you feed it, it grows into anger and resentment that poisons your peace. The true challenge of spiritual maturity is not avoiding pain, it is learning how to rise above it without letting it change who you are. Bitterness is a silent thief. It steals your joy, clouds your judgment, and disconnects you from the flow of grace that gives life its sweetness. When you hold on to offense, you trap yourself in a prison built by someone else's actions. The moment you decide to forgive, you unlock that door and step back into freedom. Rising above bitterness is not about denying the hurt, it is about refusing to let the hurt define you. It is about understanding that you cannot control what others do to you, but you can always control what you allow to live inside you. There are people who will never apologize for how they treated you. They may never understand the pain they caused, and that's okay. Your healing doesn't depend on their remorse, it depends on your release. When you choose to let go, you are saying, "This pain will not shape my future." Forgiveness doesn't mean what happened was right. It means you are choosing peace over poison. When you rise above bitterness, you rise into clarity, into strength, into purpose. The enemy wants you to stay angry because anger keeps you distracted from destiny. But when you surrender that bitterness to God, He turns what was meant to destroy you into what develops you. Every wound becomes a well of wisdom. Every scar becomes a story of victory. You begin to see that even rejection was redirection, and even betrayal was preparation for something greater. Rising above bitterness also means protecting your heart from replaying old pain. Stop rehearsing the wrong done to you. Stop keeping score of who hurt you. Every time you relive it, you reopen the wound. Instead, feed your hurt with gratitude, with prayer, with peace. Thank God that what was meant to break you didn't succeed. Thank Him that you still have the power to love, to serve, to smile. Bitterness cannot live in a grateful heart. Choose to bless those who wronged you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to stay free. You are too valuable to waste energy on anger. Let grace be your response where revenge once lived. When you release others, you release yourself from the weight that's been slowing you down. The higher you rise, the less room there is for bitterness. People may not understand your calmness after what you've been through, but that calmness is proof that peace has taken the place of pain. When you rise above bitterness, you begin to live with clarity and power. You stop reacting to small things because your focus has shifted to higher things. You no longer need to fight for closure because God Himself becomes your completion. The peace that follows forgiveness is great. Purer than any satisfaction revenge could ever bring. Let go of bitterness and let grace fill the empty space where pain once lived. Because only a free heart can rise to the heights that destiny has prepared.